So let us start with matrix multiplication. Okay, how do you multiply two matrices? If you have, let us say, two matrices A and B, okay, let us say this is matrix A and this is matrix B. You want to multiply these two matrices. Then obviously a new matrix is going to be generated, let us say C, okay. But how do you multiply these two matrices? You will multiply the row with a column, right? The first row of the first matrix will be multiplied with the first column of the second matrix. So then that becomes what? 1 into 1 plus 2 into 2, right? This becomes the first element of the first row of the resulting matrix. Okay. Similarly, the first row will be multiplied with the second column of the second matrix. That is 1 into 1 plus then 2 into 2. Then this becomes the second element of the first row of the resulting matrix. Then again, the second row will be multiplied with the first column of the second matrix. 3 into 1 plus 4 into 2. Similarly here, right? 3 into 1 plus 4 into 2. Okay. So now what is the matrix that you get? 1 into 1, 1, 2 into 2, 4. 1 plus 4, it is going to be 5 here. 1 plus 2 into 2, 4, 5 here. 3 plus 4 to the 6, right? 6 plus 3 is going to be 9 here, right? Sorry, 4 to the 8. 8 plus 3 is going to be what? 11, right? And here also 3 into 1, 3 plus 4 to the 8. 8 plus 3 is going to be 11. So this is your matrix, right? So here what is actually that you are going to do is this is A00, this is A01, sorry, huh? This is A10 and this is A11 and this is B00, B01, right? B10, B11. Okay, in order to get this C00 and C01, C10 and C11, what is that you're going to do? A00 is being multiplied, this is A00, right? Into B00 plus then A01 into B10. This is what you have done or not? A01 into B10. Similarly, when you are multiplying this row with the second column, A00 into B01. This is nothing but A00 into B01 plus A01 into B11. Yes or no? So this is how you are going to multiply, right? So this is what the procedure of matrix multiplication. If you have an order of this matrix 2 by 2, this is 2 by 2. The condition for multiplying two matrices is the number of columns in the first matrix must be equivalent with the number of rows in the second matrix. Yes or no? These are square matrices, so there is no issue rather, right? All are equal, so there is no issue. But otherwise, if you have, let us say, the matrix A order is m by n, and you want to multiply with B, where the order of the matrix B is, let us say, P by Q, then the condition must be n. N should be equivalent to what? P. Yes or no? This condition must satisfy. Okay. Only then matrix multiplication is possible. Yes or no? So when you multiply these two matrices, what is the order of the resulting matrix? Is going to be m by q, right? See, the order of the resulting matrix is going to be m by q, right? So here, the logic being devised for this particular matrix multiplication using three, loops. I'm taking here three for loops, right? For I equal to 0, I less than, I'm taking the first one order, that is m, I plus plus. Turn off your audios. All of you, please turn off your audios. J equal to, I'm taking this order, right? J less than Q, J plus plus. For K equal to 0, K less than, this is nothing but either N or P. Both are equal, right? This is N, right? N and P both should be equal, as I said. So you can take any one here. Now the logic is Cij equal to Cij plus Aik into Bkj. Okay. See, you have to multiply the first matrix entire row. I is representing the rows of the matrix, right? And J is representing the column of the matrix of B. Entire row of the first matrix, which are equivalent to having the k number of elements, right, are being multiplied with the entire column, the first column of the matrix B. Fine. And then the product of these particular terms is nothing but the sum of the products, you should say, right? So where C matrix is being already initialized as 0, you must have initialized the entire C matrix to 0 first, right? At the declaration time itself, you can rather, let us say, if what could be the order, rather, whatever the order may be. What could be the order? Basically MQ, right? Here it should be initialized to 0 first, so that the initial value will be 0. Here we need to find the sum of the products. It's again a sum series. In such kind of situations, the variable in which we are going to obtain the value of the same should be initialized with 0, as it is already initialized with 0. Then you will be accumulating the product of the particular elements, right? So product of the first row with the first column of the second, right? First row of the first matrix should be multiplied with the first column of the second matrix in order to get the first row, first column element in the resulting matrix, rather, right? So the entire row I of the first matrix, entire column of the second matrix have to be multiplied, and that should be accumulated, right, into the resulting matrix, that is C, right? So this is the formula. So this is the generalized formula which I have prepared, right? So this is how you're going to perform the matrix multiplication, right? And this is going to be repeated for the remaining elements of the resulting matrix, right? Fine. So for the entire matrix resulting matrix elements to generate, we will be using this particular logic. For A, for J, for K, Cij equal to Cij plus Aik into Bkj. That's it, right? I hope this is clear. We can probably demonstrate it with the help of a program here. Fine. I'm using online GDB compiler here. Let us create a new project. Let us remove this comments here. Write a single comment saying that we are performing what? Matrix multiplication. Okay. Matrix multiplication. Fine. So now remove this all. Yeah. Now let us take P matrices. If I am taking all square matrices, I don't have an issue rather, right? But if you want me to take the customized matrix, I'll take first all of them with size 10, 10, 10. Then we will restrict it with the help of certain variables, and that variable values which we will read probably before going for the multiplication, we need to check for that condition as I said, right? The number of rows of the first, number of columns of the first matrix should be equivalent with the number of rows of the second matrix, right? So here I'm wanted to take the customized one. So for that, I need to declare the arrays with the constant values only, because array declaration time, the expression values must be given as constant only, right? So let us take the higher size, where this size not more than this size, the user may take the values. We go with that assumption here. Okay. So now let us take all of them as 10, 10, but then we will restrict here, of course, with the help of m comma n. Mn I am taking the order to read to the first matrix, then p comma q for second matrix. Okay, then we require certain variables like I, j, k, iterators. Okay. Now let us first read the first matrix order. Okay, you need to read the order first, then you have to read the matrix, right? So now you're saying enter the order of the first matrix. Okay, let us read here. Sorry, you have to read it with scanf, right? How do you read? Help of form specifier, percentage, because both of them are integers. After double quote comma, you are going to give the variables into which you want to read the values. You want to read the values in m and n. So ampersand m comma ampersand n here. Then similarly, you have to read the order of the second matrix, but before that you read the elements of the first matrix. When you have read the order, then you read the uh, matrix elements as well. Please turn off your audios. Fine. So here you're reading the elements of the first matrix. Enter the elements of first matrix of order what? M by n, right? So I am giving the mn size. You have to read, okay? M comma n, which I've already read here. How do you read the matrix? With the help of two arrays. Sorry, two for loops. With the help of two for loops. I equal to 0, I less than 2. 2 or what? What is the row? We have read here. The row is nothing but m here, right? I less than m. I plus plus, right? Similarly, what is the column size we have read here? N, right? So j equal to 0, then j less than n, then j plus plus. Yes or no? So you will be reading now the first matrix element is an integer, so percentage d you're saying. How do you read? Ampersand a I j, okay? This is how you read the two-dimensional array or matrix, right? This is clear. First you are reading the size of the matrix in mn variable, and then you are reading the first matrix elements with order m by n, right? By restricting these for loops with m and n, you are able to read the elements with m rows and n columns. Now repeat this for second array, right? I'm just copy pasting the same for second array. I am reading the second array order in PQ, right? In P and Q, I have taken these variables to read the order of the second matrix. I should say here second matrix. Enter the order of the second matrix, I'm saying. Then I'm reading the order of the same in P and Q variables. Then you have to now enter the matrix elements, right? The second matrix elements with order what? P comma Q, right? P comma Q. Now this loop should restrict with P and Q, right? Okay. So you have read the first matrix order and then its corresponding elements, then the second matrix order, then its corresponding elements. Now you have to perform the multiplication of the same. For multiplication, what is the logic I have discussed before? You need three loops here, right? I equal to 0, I less than, you can see here, the logic of it is discussed. I equal to 0, I less than m, I plus plus, j equal to 0, j less than q, j plus plus, for k equal to 0, k less than n k plus plus, right? I equal to 0, I less than m, because the order of the resulting matrix you will get with m by q, right? I equal to 0, I less than m, say I plus plus, okay? Then for j equal to 0, j less than q, j plus plus, then for k equal to 0, k less than, you can say here n or p, both are equal anyway. So I am taking n, k plus plus. What is the logic here? Here, before you implement this logic, C elements, the resulting array elements must be equivalent to what? It should be 0. So I am initializing the entire matrix here with 0. At the declaration time, if I equal with 0 enclosed in flower brackets, then all the elements of that particular matrix will be initialized with 0. Fine. And now I'm here saying Cij equal to Cij equal to Cij plus Aik into Bkj, right? This is the formula which I am using here. Aik into Bkj, right? Fine. So this is the matrix multiplication logic. You can see. I hope this is clear to all of you. Size is large only. For I, for j, for k, Cij equal to Cij plus Aik into Bkj. This is the logic. And then you want to print the resulting matrix. Resulting matrix is available in C. Now we are going to print the resulting matrix. Resulting matrix elements are product of two matrices, you can say, right? For I, again, how do you print? While you are printing, you will be again requiring two for loops. To do any operational matrix, you require two for loops, right? I equal to 0, I less than, what could be the order of it? M by q, right? So I less than m, then you say I plus plus, here you want to print every row in a fresh line. So printf the elements before printing. You will be taking the cursor on the fresh line, and then for j equal to 0 semicolon, j less than, what will be the order of the resulting matrix? It is m by q, so it should be restricted with m and q, right? Q, j plus plus. Here now you are going to print the element, right? While printing the element, you want some spaces in between. Okay, you can give percentage 4D, you will get some spaces in between, comma, what is the resulting matrix? That is Cij, right? Cij, semicolon, right? So now you can see in this for loop, you have first printf new line operator, take the cursor on the fresh line. Then this particular for loop will print all the elements in that array. Again, then go in that row, and then it go for the next iteration of the outer for loop and take the cursor on the fresh line to print the next row, like that. Okay. So this is the matrix multiplication program. So we have taken three arrays A, B, C of higher size, and we are trying to restrict their order with the help of these variables M and PQ. Now, first you have read the order of the first matrix, then you have read the matrix elements, the first matrix elements with order M by N. Then you have read the second matrix order with PQ. Then you are reading the elements of the second matrix with the order PQ. Then here the logic of the matrix multiplication for I, for j, for k, Cij equal to Cij plus Aik into Bkj. Then now you are going to print the resulting matrix elements, right? So I hope this is clear to all of you. Now we'll try to run this program, but here we have to choose the language as C before running the program. Now run the program. See, there is some error here. We have not written printf properly at line number 22. You can go here. Here it has to be printf. Okay. So enter the order of the first matrix. It is saying now. Let us take first with order of 2 by 2. I'm going with square matrices in order to demonstrate here for the sake of simplicity. You can work it for any order because our program is customized one. Just for the sake of convenience, I'm taking a smaller size matrices, 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4. Okay, please turn off your audios. See the same matrix I'm here showing you the result with. I have taken already here 1 2 3 4 1 1 2 2. Okay, my result will be 5 5 11 11. Okay, so 1 2 3 4. Then I have to take the order of the second matrix. This is I'm giving as 2 by 2 again, 2 by 2. So it will now ask me to enter the matrix of that order 2 by 2. I'm giving as 1 1 2 and 2. Okay, resulting matrix elements I got 0 here. Okay, let us check. Now again run the program. Yeah, 2 by 2, then give the matrix elements 1 2 3 4, then give the size as 2 by 2, then give the elements as 1 1 2 and 2. Okay, yeah, we have got 5 5 11 11 as we have demonstrated here. 1 2 3 4 1 2 2 should give us 5 5 11 11. This is what the procedure is happening inside the algorithm. Yes or no? This is clear to all of you. This will work for any order. Okay, provided the number of columns of the first matrix should be equivalent with the number of rows of the second matrix. That condition I should add here. I will add here. Okay, before I go for the matrix multiplication. What is the condition I have discussed here? You can see. Yes or no? n should be equivalent to p, I said, right? That condition I'm adding here. If n equal to p, right? N is the number of columns of the first matrix, should be equivalent with the number of rows of the second matrix. Only then matrix multiplication is possible, yes or no? So if they are not equal, then you simply quit it, right? So I'll be putting this entire logic only when this condition is true. Okay, let us take this back. Okay, so you can see here this entire logic, multiplication and printing, is only possible when the number of columns of the first matrix is equivalent with the number of rows of the second matrix. So I am putting this entire thing in this condition when true, rather, right? So you can see here this entire thing I am here putting in this, right? So if I give the order differently, okay, let us say if I have given 2 by 3 and there it is 4 by 5, 3 and 4 does not equal, so it doesn't work out, right? It simply comes out. So here I can have an else statement as well, that where I am saying the matrix multiplication is not possible. Okay, matrix multiplication is not possible. Let us try with this. Okay, so when the number of columns of the first matrix is not equal with the number of rows of the second matrix, then it comes to the else part and say that matrix multiplication is not possible. If it is true, then it performs the matrix multiplication and then it prints the result. Okay, we will execute this and give certain values of unsuccessful one and then see. So enter the order of the first matrix. I am giving as, let us say, 1 by 2, means for one row, two columns, right? One row, so one row and two columns, means 1 2 I can have, right? Yeah. Then enter the order of the second matrix, he said. Actually, in order to get the matrix multiplication possible, I need to have the, you know, number of columns of the first matrix. What is it? 2. It should be equivalent with the number of rows of the second matrix. It means my order of the second matrix must contain rows equivalent to 2. But if I give again the same thing, let us say 1 2, okay, will it be possible? Will it be possible or not? Not possible. You can see I have given the first matrix order also 1 2 and second is also 1 2. Okay, so the number of columns of the first matrix is 2, whereas the number of rows of the second matrix is what? 1. Is that equal? No. So what it gives? It gives that matrix multiplication is not possible. So you can see, since the condition when checked, n equal to p is not true, it directly comes to the else part and says that matrix multiplication is not possible, right? So in order to make the multiplication to be possible, see, this must be equal n. This n, okay, must be equivalent with the p, right? Only then it is possible. Fine. So I hope this is clear to all of you.